What's going on, everyone? NoZoupForYou here, obviously, and today I want to talk about the European destroyers. And I know we've all been playing them right now, some of you at least. You probably got them through the various containers and everything else that are being offered right now, and I'm interested to know how you're enjoying them right now. I'm interested to know what you think of them. And I just kind of want to tell you what I think about them, and my overall thoughts, and, you know, I'm kind of happy with them right now. I mean, I'm always happy when we get a new destroyer line. I've always at heart felt I'm somewhat of a destroyer main, even though I pretty much, you know, break my time down evenly between each class, minus aircraft carriers. I just don't play them that much. I don't find much joy in them sometimes, but when I test them, you know, that's probably when I get my most playtime out of carriers. But destroyers, I always have a love for them. There's something about them I like. I find them to be a high-skill ship. You can definitely have an impact in rounds, but it also depends on the destroyer and the nation. And some nations have been power crept. Some nations aren't quite as good as other nations anymore. You know, you look at the original IJN destroyers, and I think they've largely kind of been left in the dust. But this new line, these European destroyers, I think they are actually pretty good. I feel at home in them, more so than the French destroyers that we just got. I like these a lot more than the French destroyers. I really do. And I mean, you're looking at the Lapland right now, but this is really the Halland, the tier 10 ship. And the reason it's called the Lapland is because we got the special commander on this ship, which is what I'm playing with right now. I don't recall if I got any of the special bonuses in this round. I don't think I did. No, I don't recall any flares going off. But for all intents and purposes, this is the Halland. And at tier 10, there's really only a few things you need to know about this ship. 95.3 knot torpedoes. 95.3 knot torpedoes. Let that sink in. 95.3 knots. And I know previous videos of this ship that came out a while ago touted the 91 knot torpedoes, but this was before we got the new module that adds a 5% bonus. So you can get these torpedoes up to 95.3 knots. That, my friends, is insane. I think that's faster than the ferry swordfishes fly. This torpedo can outrun airplanes. That is sick. Absolutely sick. And even with those 95.3 knot torpedoes, you still have a range of 12 kilometers. You also have a 76.5 second reload on these. And with 6 kilometer concealment, that's just downright dirty and nasty. Plus, you know, you've got your 7.5 kilometer radar on this ship, like most of the European ships. Your guns are decent. And that's throughout the line. I really feel that for a DD main, especially one who's fairly competitive, these ships are going to find a home in many, many ports. I just feel that these ships are well balanced, although those torpedoes are just kind of insane. Though they are balanced by the fact that they're not really that powerful. I mean, 10,000 damage is still good damage. You're still going to wreck face with them, but yeah. And let's talk about the AA defenses on these things too. I mean, this round you're watching right here, I was up against a tier 8 carrier, and I absolutely melted its planes. I mean, these ships are somewhat similar to the Friesland in many ways, and I love the Friesland. Friesland's a great destroyer. So I think this line in general, many players are going to like this line. Many destroyer mains are going to like this line. And I think there's a lot to like in this line for even players that aren't destroyer mains. These destroyers are somewhat tanky. They're beefy. They got very good offensive capability, very good defensive capability. I mean, this round right here, honestly, this round's nothing special. It's an epicenter. The only reason I'm showing it is this was the last replay I had in the Holland/Lapland. Interesting round, actually. About halfway into this round, I get a call from my wife because one of our twins, Savannah, she's popped off. She's going crazy upstairs. She's crying left and right. So I run upstairs to help my wife out. Put the ship on. I put it on a waypoint setting, run upstairs, grab my daughter, come back down, and the rest of the round, the last half of the round, I'm basically playing, holding her in one arm, maneuvering with, you know, my left hand, and when I have to fire, I'm like switching hands, using the mouse, and despite this fact, I still wound up in first place in this round. Really the fact I was holding my daughter kind of drove my actions in this round, and I don't know how it happened, but I wound up towards the very end of the round on the far south side of the map, chasing the enemy aircraft carrier. And I normally don't go after aircraft carriers as a destroyer. I find that fruitless and just really not worth it, but this round it just happened that way, and I closed in on it, and there's nothing I could do. This poor Tier 8 aircraft carrier threw up everything in the kitchen sink at me. Threw all its planes towards me, and I think I mowed down like 48 by the time the round was done. And I closed in within 5 clicks, launched my 95.3 knot torpedoes, and there was nothing it could do. I just slaughtered it. Against the other ships, I mean, the torpedoes do great. I mean, they reload quickly. 76-second reload is fast. And you've got 10 of these suckers. I mean, this thing out-shimmies the shimmy. I mean, this is like the European version of the Shimikaze. And it's a lot of fun. No, it's not as maneuverable as some of the other Tier 10 destroyers out there. No, its guns don't fire as fast. But like I said, this line of destroyers, it's like a jack of all trades. I mean, they've got everything. Minus smoke, which, you know, you don't need the smoke. These things, if you wolf pack with these, it's gonna be disgusting against enemy destroyers. Because you can flush them out, they can't hide in smoke. You just pop off your radar, and then of course, once again, those ultra-fast torpedoes work point blank against destroyers. They can't escape them. And the guns are good too, and combined with the heel, I mean, you got the full Monty here. So the entire line of these destroyers is, I mean, I feel that they're in a good place. And like I said, I think a lot of you players out there, a lot of you DD mains, if you haven't got your hands on them yet, I would seriously put these on your radar, no pun intended at all, because these ships, I think a lot of players are going to like them. I know I like them. And it's been a long time since I've got a ship line that I've really felt like I enjoy. And, you know, I'm testing the new Russian cruisers right now, and I'm not very impressed at all. But these destroyers, while I don't have ultra-high damage rounds in them, I always feel like I'm pulling my weight. I always feel like I'm helping my team through actions like picketing and running radar and destroyer hunting and just all those actions, all those small little actions that help you win the game. So if you're an altruistic player out there, if you're out there because you want to win, because you want to support the team, you want to help the team, and you know you care about damage but not so much you're going to go off hunting by yourself, if you are a team player, these ships are definitely going to be for you, because these are the ultimate in team player ships. That is their purpose. I feel that these ships are very well suited to team play, very suited to clan battle type play. Competitive scene, you know what? I can throw out my thoughts, but as I haven't played competitive in a long time, or clan battles in a long time, you know, I'll let those players defer. But at Tier 10, obviously, no one's had a chance to do that yet. But just my thoughts with the radar and the fast torpedoes on these ships. I really do think that you might find some players out there playing these in clan battles and competitive gameplay. I might be wrong. It wouldn't be the first time I was wrong. Wouldn't definitely be the last time I was wrong either. And, you know, we'll ask some thoughts from you out there that do play competitive, whether or not these ships are on your radar and you think they are going to play well for you. Be sure to go ahead and leave a comment regarding that, but I think these ships might have some significant use just because of their offensive capability. You know, this ship is loaded out right now with 95.3 knot torpedoes, and I know I've said that like 10 times right now, but I just got to drive that home. And 12 knots, that's decent range. And of course, we might see a change to that, obviously. I mean, this is still technically a work in progress, so chances are, you know, there might be a slight tweak. I don't know if that'll happen, though. But even if you don't go with the speed boost, you've still got 90 knot torpedoes with, what, 15-kilometer range? And in a competitive setting, in a clan setting, that's some decent range right there. And with the reload on these torpedoes, you're going to be able to create some pretty big zones of area denial. So overall, I think a lot of players are going to like these destroyers. I like them. I like the line, the European destroyer line. It gets 2 thumbs up from me, so hopefully you'll enjoy it as well. But I just want to give you my thoughts on the line in general and whether or not you should play it. I definitely think you should if you're destroyer main. Even if you're not, you might find some utility out of these ships. You might enjoy them. But anyhow, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you all are doing wonderful. Be sure to leave some comments, like, sub, do all that wonderful stuff if you haven't already. Yeah, have a great one. Be safe if you're self-quarantining. Don't go out if you don't have to. Best of luck. Much love. Zoop out.